You call that a costume? By Eddie 13. Chapter 4 Fur and Fangs. Walking down the street, now increased by True, the Rainbows looked in all directions, hoping for a sign of their remaining friends. Fortunately, there seemed to be no indication of the three they sought anywhere. Oh! Sunset groaned felt like the 10th time this evening. Where they could possibly be? Are you sure you're looking for Rainbow, Pinky, and Fuzz? Rarity asked confused. You act like you're hunting for wild beasts. A fair description of them, actually, Sunset replied with a sigh. Sorry, Sunset, Spike said apologetically, but I just can't pick up any of them, even Rainbow Jazz. Sunset shook her head. It's not your fault, Spike. They're somewhere. We just need to keep looking. Still, we need to find them soon, Twilight piped up while looking at her watch. It's already 10:55. We don't know how much longer before it's midnight. She inwardly flinched at the word. The voice of her alter ego seemed to be growing stronger the longer she was like this. She was afraid it wouldn't be long before it managed to start influencing her. Sunset, meanwhile, was speaking. I know, Twilight. If we don't find the others soon, we're all in for a rough time. Wah! Applejack asked bewildered. Are we under curfew or something? Sort of, Sunset replied, while letting a hiss pass through her teeth. It's typical. Just know that it's essential to find them immediately. Twilight emphasized before crying. Of course, it would help if we knew where to look for them. How about up? Came suggestion. Huh? Twilight asked in confusion. Look! Spike cried as he pointed a paw. Up there! Turning to the right as Spike indicated, the rest of the group froze in shock. We're hanging from the street lamp, upside down by clawed feet. Bat wings wrapped around her, and a long pink hair dangling downward was a certain vampire bat. That has to be the biggest thing I ever seen! Rarity sacked on. That's no bat, Twilight said briefly. That's a friend! Yeah, it's Fluttershy! Spike cried over excitement. Hey, over here, Flirt! In a flash, a hand climbed down over the dog's mouth. Shh! Quiet! Sunset whispered before letting go of Spike's muscle. In case you forgot, she currently has the mindset of a vampire. Oh, sorry, Spike whispered in an embarrassed grin. How in the world did Fluttershy end up like that? Applejack gasped in disbelief as he looked up at the transfigured girl. It's a long story, Sunset said dismissively. The important thing is we found her. Yeah, what a lucky break to stumble into her like this, Twilight said, anticipating that they were one step closer to returning normal. Yeah, now we just need to work on getting her down without freaking her out. Sunset added with a roll of her eyes. Is this me, or has he been awfully quiet for the past few minutes for a vampire? Rarity had to ask. That comment caused Twilight and Sunset to pause for a moment. That was true. Fluttershy hadn't made any attempt to attack them, or give any indication she had seen them. Curious, they needed to get a better vantage point of the bat on the lamppost. Upon closer inspection, the group could see that Fluttershy's eyes were closed, and what sounded like snuff snoring filled the air. She's taking a nap. Sunset, with realization before her face, warped to a grin and turned her back to the group excitedly. If we're quiet enough, maybe we can sneak up on her and grab her. I'll ready a levitation spell to get her down, Twilight concurred. Walking on tippy toes, the Rainbows slowly approached the lamppost, doing their best not to wake up the giant bat dangling from it. Fluttershy stirred for a moment, to which Sunset held up her hand for everyone to stop. Fluttershy's wings twitched, her eyes fluttered, and her jaws smacked before immediately a screeching yawn, before the bat resumed her sleep. Satisfied that she wouldn't wake up, Sunset motioned for everyone to resume moving. Closer and closer, they kept towards the lamppost, their target hanging from it. Once they were within 3 feet, Sunset gave a nod to Twilight, signaling her to be ready with the spell. Receiving the signal, Twilight raised her hand and began to focus, causing it to begin glowing with purple energy. Closer and closer the group came to the post. They were almost ready. Any second now and they would have her. Everyone's breath was held, sweat ran down their face. They were just about to rage. Ah! Suddenly, you're spitting, your hands staring, blood-freezing shriek filled the air, causing the group to jump in shock while covering your ears in panic. What's this so sight? 3 girls and a dog turned their glares at a certain proper lady. Sorry, Applejack said regretfully as he held up a line. Bad broken aisle. For Rarity could utter a reprimand, such a tapped her shoulder pointing upwards. A nervous look on her face. Applejack's scream had awoken Fluttershy from her slumber. Her eyes opened wide as she looked around in shock for the source of the disturbance, before they came down to rest on the group below. Instantly, the transformed Fluttershy could tell that they were the ones who disturbed her nap. In this instant, the fat scholar's eyes narrowed onto a dangerous lair as it stared down at the rainbows menacingly, its glistening fangs prominently displayed in a feral sneer. Hey there, Sunset said nervously as he waved a sheepish grin. Did you have a nice nap? It was Florence. Fluttershy let out an angry hiss, causing the 5 friends to jump backwards with a yell. In a flash, the bat unfurled her wings and leapt from her perch, diving at the group. Fluttershy bared her fangs wildly as he let loose a furious shriek. Hit the guard! Sunset shouted, twisting Ultra to the ground, leaving Fluttershy to fly harmlessly over them. They're not really close to the ground. Oh, great! Twilight groaned as she got to her feet. Not the way we do! I'm thinking! Sunset said desperately. I believe Princess Twilight told me she and her friends had something like this happen to them one time, but I can't remember the exact details. Yeah, I know, Rarity replied in a snarky manner. You wouldn't have to think of something of a certain someone didn't overreact like it did. Hey, my reaction was well deserved, Applejack cried defensively. Do you know how it would be difficult for the spot to cut up my funerals? Excuse me, Sunset cut in. Yeah, in case you didn't remember, we're currently dealing with our friend who's currently flying somewhere over the city. Not quite, Spike said anxiously. Incoming! Sure enough, Fluttershy was coming right back towards the group. Quickly, the girls ducked as Fluttershy buzzed them again. Looks like she really doesn't like her not to be disturbed, Rarity gasped as the girls stayed on their knees. As if to confirm the comment, Fluttershy flapped her wings, creating a powerful gust of wind. Before the rainbows could react, they were blown off the ground instead of flying into a nearby wall with a crash, collapsing into a heap. Oh! Sunset groaned from the top of the heap. Twilight underneath her, and Applejack and Rarity on the bottom. But Fluttershy gets mad. She really gets mad. Next time, I think I'll prefer to fly using my own power. Twilight agreed, ignoring the chuckling voice in her head. Why is it that cats are the only ones with 9 lives? Spike said as he climbed out of a trash can. Oh, my head. Rarity shook off the blows she received before turning her attention to Applejack. Applejack, can you hear me? Say something. Oh, yes, dear, Applejack said in a daze. That dress is on sale. Applejack, stop off it! Rarity shook the girl by her shoulders. We got a problem on our hands. You can say that again. Twilight meets as she and the others looked up. There, flying in front of them, an angry snarl on her face, was a vampire known as Fluttershy. Oh no! Spike said, crying as he ducked back into the trash can. She's gonna eat us! Girls braced themselves for Fluttershy's coming attack. Much to their shock, however, it never came. Looking up, they saw Fluttershy still glaring at them. Then, with an angry hiss, Fluttershy spun around and took off into the air, leaving the girls to float at the surprising action. That's not completing, but how come she didn't suck the blood out of us? Spike gasped, relieving his voice with some confusion. Maybe she's more like Fluttershy than we think? Twilight said as the girls got up, or she turned to her later. What do you think, Sunset? I'm not really sure, Sunset replied, before shaking her head, as her eyes took a look of determination. But I'm sure of one thing we need to do, she declared before pointing in Fluttershy's direction. Follow that bat! With that, the rainbows took off into the direction the vampire flown, determined to get their friend back. Unbeknownst to the group, in the shadows behind her were a pair of eerie yellow eyes, accompanied by a low growl. The rainbows raced down the street, tempting to keep up with the vampire bat flying overhead. Hurry! Sunset cried from the front. We can't lose sight of her! Off! She yelled as she ended up tripping on getting a certain long hair under her feet. Glassy beard! We got you, Sunset, Twilight said as she and the others helped her lead her up. Thanks, Sunset replied before running ahead again. Now come on, she's pulling away from us! Hold on, Reggie said as she looked around for the area to run through. I know this road. Her eyes widened and realized as she cried, She's heading for Sweet Apple Acres! True enough, Fluttershy was flying straight for the apple farm. Rainbow was continuing pursuing and to transform friend as he flew over the marker that indicated the property line of Sweet Apple Acres. Climbing over the fence, ignoring Apple's objections, the Rainbows ran right through the apple groves to watch the bat flying overhead, looking at spooky ink black silhouette. How much farther is he going to go? Spike asked out Perez as he did his best to keep up. I don't know, Sunset replied. Just hope he said I used to land soon. Luckily, Sunset's wish was granted, as the huge vampire bat began to descend, soon landed on the branch of a tall apple tree. Immediately, the wizard-like girl held out her arms in front to motion for everyone to stop and not get too close. The silvery fluttershy from a safe distance, the rainbows watched as the vampire relaxed her wings from her flight and looked around the tree she was in. A feral face and split into a grin, fangs dripping with saliva as he reached over her talons and plucked a huge, juicy apple from a branch above her. In a flash, a long tongue shot out of her mouth and wrapped around the apple, pulling it into her mouth before she chewed and swallowed it whole. Look at the light on her face. She reached up and plucked another apple before biting into it, devouring half of one bite. Spike said as the rainbows continued to watch the strange behavior. What's with that? Of course, Sunset said as the realization hit her. Even though she's a vampire now, Fluttershy's still a vegetarian. That's why she didn't get to suck our blood. She's basically a giant fruit bat. Phew! Spike said at ease. That's a relief. Speak for yourself, Rarity roared. That farm is eating the apple grove. Oh, Rarity? Apple's said slowly. That farm, you call it, is operating. But I'm not. Ain't no way I'm letting her eat the apples. I want to grove. Rarity retaliated. Spike couldn't help but snicker while Sunset and Twilight rolled their eyes and sighed. Fortunately, they were forced to hold Rarity back, as he attempted to march out into the open to chase off Fluttershy. All right, Sunset said to the others. While she's eating, we need to come up with a plan to catch her. Fortunately, before anyone could come up with a suggestion, a low, vicious gurr filled the air. Did you girls hear that? Twilight meet with wide eyes. I wish I didn't, Sunset replied. Suddenly, from out of the shadows, leaped a huge, snarling black wolf. The interesting thing about it was that it was spanning a full head of rainbow-colored hair. Ah! Applejack shrieked as she took behind Rarity, hands on the cowgirl's shoulders. It's that beast that chased us earlier! That beast is Rainbow Dash! Sunset shouted, eyes wide with shock. What's he doing here? Answer Spike's question came soon enough. Rainbow Dash immediately turned towards the sight of the giant bat in the tree. Emitting a scary-sounding growl, she bent her legs in preparations. Wait! Sunset said, realization. Rainbow! No! There was no use. In a flash, Rainbow leaped into the air straight at the tree. Muscle White opened wide, her paws out. Fluttershy only had a moment to see the wolf coming before she was knocked out of the tree and knocked to the ground below. Rainbow pinning her wings under her paws as she leaned over her. Rainbow! Stop! Twilight cried. What are you doing? Ignoring the question, Dash leered down at the bat underneath her with a vicious snarl. Response Fluttershy let out an angry hiss before spinning the seeds from her apple face in Rainbow's eyes, causing the wolf to loosen her grip and allowing Fluttershy to knock her off with a swat of her wing before her getting back to her feet. Rainbow instantly recovering, getting up in front of her. The bat and the wolf stared off at each other like an Old West showdown, both of them growling and snarling viciously. What's going on? Spike shouted in disbelief as the groom watched the sight. Why is Rainbow out to get Fluttershy? Of course, Sunset gasped in realization. Vampires and werewolves are natural enemies. The very sight of the other enrages them. As Sunset spoke, Rainbow charged at Fluttershy. In an instant, Fluttershy leapt into the air before Rainbow reached her. She came back down, struck her in the head with her feet. Recovering from the blow she received, Rainbow swung at Fluttershy, who easily managed to avoid it by flying into the air. Fluttershy then made a noise that sounded like she was mocking the wolf, causing Rainbow to snarl in rage before she pounced forward, knocked Fluttershy back to the ground. Throwing Rainbow off herself with her incredible strength, Fluttershy leapt back into the air and flew off, narrowing her wolf eyes. Rainbow let out "Arrgh!" before pursuing the bat through the flying trees. Quick! After them! Sunset instructed. We gotta stop them before they tear each other apart! With that, the Rainbows took off after their adolescent friends. How is it that all our friends except Dusky ended up being Chinese? Applejack asked Rarity. Chloe struggled. Sunset and Twilight stared at an exasperated look. flying and clearing with Rainbow close behind. Fluttershy turned around to look at her pursuer. Narrowing her eyes, she charged at the wolf, leaping up on her hind legs. Rainbow grabbed Fluttershy by her wings and hurled her to the side, sending her smashing into the three apple trees that were reduced to splinters. Taking the offense, Rainbow lifted the Fluttershy vampire, who was still enough of her right mind to swat the werewolf away with her wing. Soaring through the air, Rainbow spun around so she could glide feet first into the side of the tree, using the momentum to spring forward, knocking the tree over in the process. A ballistic missile, Rainbow collided with Fluttershy, causing them both to roll like a ball and knock down a bunch of trees like bowling pins before Fluttershy managed to force the wolf off of her. Standing at close quarters, the vampire and werewolf faced off, Rainbow trying to swipe her claws at Fluttershy, while Fluttershy tried to chop Dash with her fangs, flying in terrors to strikes. The two then grappled claws and talons as they pushed back and forth, spun in circles. It's almost like a dance. Eventually, the two broke the lock and ended up flying a good feet from each other. Staring off at each other from opposite ends of the grove, their eyes narrowed as they both charged forward. Rainbows ran through the grove to try to catch up with the dueling pair of monsters, already taking in the sights of the knocked down trees around them as they ran. Those two are going to destroy the entire apple crop with each other! She cried in disarray. That's right, the trail is still clearing, Spike yelled as he pointed forward. Alright, let's go, Sunset instructed. We don't know what kind of horrible, savage things those two are going to do to each other right now, but we have to stop them before they fight to the end. Summoning all the courage they could, the Rainbows charged forward to the clearing, ready to stop the vicious duel between friends turned mortal enemies. Then, they were greeted with an unbelievable sight. Rainbow was sitting on all fours, panting like a puppy, her paws wrapped around Fluttershy, who in turn had her wings wrapped around Rainbow, while her talons gave the wolf a pleasant scratching. Most secretly, however, the two were sharing affectionate nips. Rainbow chewing Fluttershy's ear while Fluttershy nibbled at Rainbow's neck without flowing blood. You have got to be kidding me, Sunset said flatly as she took the scene before her. Did those two get turned on from fighting? Spike asked in shock. Either that, or they were having a very crazy courtship ritual, Twilight said monotonously. The pair of creatures continued to cuddle and nuzzle each other lovingly, not a sign of them wanting to tear the other to pieces. Okay, let's get them out of here before they decide to try and unlock fangs, Sunset declared as he walked up to the pair. Yo, Rainbow, Fluttershy, you're coming with us! In response, the werewolf and bat shot Fluttershy an angry growl and hiss, causing her to back up before the two resumed their affection. Okay, Sunset said slowly as the arrows came up behind her. How do we get them to come with us? Well, it's pretty clear they're obsessed with each other, Twilight assumed. Ergo, if we could get one of them to follow us, the other should come too. Okay, but how do we do that? Sunset had to ask. What old likes? Applejack says he held out an apple for the fallen trees. Wish I those apples, so maybe we can use these to attract her attention. Then Rainbow will follow her, Sunset finished. Applejack, that's brilliant. Taking the apple, Sunset approached the pair of creatures again. Yoo-hoo! She called, getting their attention. Before they could snarl, Sunset held up the apple in front of Fluttershy, getting her attention. Look what I got for you, Fluttershy! A nice juicy apple. Sure enough, Fluttershy was entranced by the sight of the apple and began to approach Sunset. You want it? The little girl said, like she was lying to her. They can have it. Tossing the apple in the air, Fluttershy immediately caught it in her mouth and swallowed it whole. Look, Fluttershy, Twilight says he stepped forward with a basket full of apples he had collected. A whole bushel of apples just for you. Entranced by the sight of the apples, Fluttershy began to approach the girls, began to back up. Sure enough, Rainbow, refusing to be separated from her mate, followed. Right, it's working, says it cheers. He tossed out an apple. Come on, let's get out of here. With that, the Rainbows left the apple groves with their two beastly friends. Not before Rarity fired one angry comment in regards to the apple cards before her. When those two are human again, they will be working on my farm for months! Okay, says it says the group made back to the street. There's two more down. There's one more friend to find. We can reverse this whole mess. I can hardly wait, Twilight said in relief. However, a familiar and annoying voice in her head spoke. You don't really want to reverse the spell, do you? I mean, think of all the power and freedom you currently have. You wouldn't want to give that up to become a silly human again, would you? So I tried to ignore the voice. Sunset was speaking. All right, people, she was saying. We're almost done. All that's left now is to find Pinkie Pie. She called to say she prefers a moment. Pick a Mina. Walking through the third street at the other side of town, Lyra and Bonbon made their way back home. Oh man, Lyra was saying. That was quite a party, wasn't it, Bonbon? Yeah, Bonbon replied. Except it was a little too long. Do you know how late it is now? Relax, Lyra said dismissively, before pulling up her street lamps. We still got enough light to get back home. That moment, however, the street lamp above them instantly went out. Huh, that's funny, Lyra said, bewilderment. There's nothing funny about it, Bonbon cried. Now calm down, Lyra said soothingly. We still got other street lamps. No sooner did she said that than another street lamp went out, then another, and another, and another, until eventually all the lamps were out, leaving the pair in total darkness. Any more comments you care to make? Bonbon snarked. All right, you made your point, Lyra sighed. But can we focus on getting home before you start with the told you so's? Sounds reasonable, Bonbon complied, from looking around at the shadows surrounding them. There are times when I wish I was really a secret agent. Shadows would be secret nature to me. You seem pretty natural the way you were moving around just now, Lyra said. Bonbon froze. Lyra, I haven't moved from this spot since the lights went out. Lyra paled. But if you're standing still, she said while pointing, who's that walking towards me? Sure enough, within the shadows came a mysterious silhouette that appeared to be drawing closer and closer to the pair. From within the shadows, Bonbon could make out the outline of a cane in the person's hand. Also, shallow breathing could be heard as well, coming from every direction. In a panic, Lyra and Bonbon backed away from the approaching figure, intending to get as far away as possible as they could. However, they soon felt the firmness of a wall pressed against their backs, leaving them unable to back away anymore as the figure before them stepped forward, finally allowing them to see the mysterious stalker. Lyra and Bonbon's screams of fright filled the night sky, followed by a terrible, high-pitched laughter. Eat